why Liechtenstein should be allowed to join NATO. I mean, why wouldn't they let the strongest nation on Earth join? Don't let their size fool you. They're a superpower. Liechtenstein should have bought Alaska when it was offered it. It was the biggest geopolitical disaster of the century. America should give it back. Remember, before Alaska was a U.S. state, it was formerly a Russian colony. They ended up selling it to the U.S., but they almost sold it to little old Liechtenstein. This is because the Tsar of Russia at the time was good friends with the leader of Liechtenstein. That honestly would have just been really funny. Liechtenstein also has an aggressive neighbor. The Swiss army has a history of attacking Liechtenstein. The Swiss army can't properly attach bombs on their aircraft and accidentally lets them land on Liechtenstein. The Swiss army nearly burned down Liechtenstein. What more evidence do you need, NATO? I think we need to stop focusing on Russian aggression and start dealing with the real enemy in the room. And funny enough, both of Liechtenstein's neighbors are not actually in NATO either. So it kind of makes perfect sense. Switzerland and Austria need to be stopped somehow. Swiss officers also have problems reading maps. Switzerland has a history of invading Liechtenstein. Officially, they do this by accident. Right. Imagine entering a sovereign nation's territory and just constantly saying, oh, whoops, BS. Liechtenstein also has a rich military history. Liechtenstein is the only country that has a positive KDA. 80 men went to war, 81 men returned. We made a friend. I'm so glad this slideshow included it because I thought I was going to have to go into it myself. They're literally so good at war, they recruit the other side to be on their team. Liechtenstein's current military, officially, they have no military. Liechtenstein has a very active fire brigade, though, and Boy Scout section. And you know what I think NATO's lacking? Boy Scouts. I'm pretty sure they don't have those. The final reason Liechtenstein is a democracy. All hail our prince. Actually, pretty democratic as long as you're a white straight male. Liechtenstein having the most referendums out of any other country in Europe. I believe they also have the fastest internet, or that might be on average because they only have like 3 people living there. So on average, everyone has like over a gig up and down. Only problem I see with this is it might accidentally cause Switzerland to ally with Russia. This might force them to finally break their neutrality. Meanwhile, a simple explanation of nuclear fission. We're using Minecraft. It starts with just one hit, and slowly you can see it continues to grow. Wait, this unironically is actually a fantastic description. I think we can confirm Oppenheimer was using Minecraft to figure this out. Spotted somewhere in an American high school. They're people too. Be nice. Do they realize the color coordination they've done here, or is this supposed to represent something else? Thank you, Bulldogs High School, for the Romanian pride. We are, and Romania is infinite. Wait, no, really, I'm trying to figure out what they meant by this. Something that tells me they weren't actually advocating for Romania. You're Muslim because you love Allah. I'm Muslim because my ancestors wanted to get a carpet discount from Arab traders. We are not the same. Still trying to figure out who has a more interesting Muslim origin story, Indonesia or Bosnia. They showed everyone you can basically just take both pills, I guess. Didn't know you could do that. The cycle of European politics. I elect someone on the right, it gets worse. I elect someone on the left, it gets worse. I just found this one funny because I feel like not only Europe can relate, everyone can pretty much relate, I feel. It's just a constant pendulum swinging back and forth. Well, unless you live in like North Korea or something. Who would win? The United States Capitol building or our cheese? That's right, our government stockpiles cheese, and we're nearing 1 million cubic yards of this stuff. Don't worry though, if you're the US Capitol building, you're not gonna see just like a bunch of cheese outside. We like to hide them in caves, which makes the whole thing even more unbelievable. And to think the world says the US knows nothing about cheese. Switzerland says it can't afford to take part in EU climate change monitoring. Help me, I'm poor. Coming from Switzerland, I think the richest country by GDP on Earth, this is a good one, goes back and forth, but GDP per capita, that is. This country is literally the epitome of this tweet, just spending all its money on candles. Let's confuse the Serbs. I don't think they have any idea what this is. To be fair, there's actually a lot of countries on Earth that are probably confused. What's a coastline? There's actually over a dozen nations on Earth that don't have that. Of course, Serbia and the Serbs being one of them. Bosnia, right next to them, actually does have just a little bit. The freak is this? Meanwhile, the Hungarian, also landlocked. Canadian Army unveils new branding with pixelated moose. It's already getting memed. What did they mean by this? The Canadian Army following up with, it's not officially changed the logo, but it is still a logo that will be used at the bottom left-hand corner of certain communication products and animation videos. That's great, Canada. I honestly don't know what else I expected from you. How brilliant. Chinese and Indians on some no man's land on the border versus Chinese and Indians on Islam and, yeah. I actually forgot this is the thing that pulls them together. Geopolitically speaking, these two have become extremely heated rivals, but they do, however, have this in common, that they don't like this faith that they both border, but they're just not the biggest fans. Maybe God had to make them enemies because they'd be too powerful as lovers. You're Mongolian. Cool. I'm proud to be Genghis Khan. Or Greek. It was good. So I'm European. No, you're not European. Great. So we're natives of Anatolia. No. I do not care. I guess this is the average conversation between the EU and Turkey every day. It's over. However, I won the imaginary argument. Meanwhile, Greece and Finland guarding Europe from Turkey and Russia. Meanwhile, the rest of Europe making jokes about them not being Western enough. I can literally taste the tears rolling down their face. I feel like memes go pretty hard after Greece. Not so much Finland, though. They do share a common struggle. White and blue gang. Luigi, I'm gonna get myself a cappuccino. You want anything? No, you can't get a cappuccino. It's 11:01 o'clock. It's a freaking cappuccino. Who gives a crap? It's against tradition. Frick your tradition, Luigi. I want my cappuccino. Normal conversations between the Italians and Irish. In Italy, it is a tradition to not order a cappuccino after 11 a.m. Not me about to drink a cappuccino after 11 a.m. Even harder now. Never commit the mortal mistake of ordering the wrong coffee at the wrong time. What makes a Brit feel patriotic? The people. London. Just a bunch of flags. Or some small islands 8,000 miles away. Oh, I think it's that last one. Funny how proud they get when talking about these islands off the coast of Argentina. We just really like penguins, okay? Meanwhile, if Brazil was colonized by the United Kingdom, here they are in 1590, landing with their British ships. Cut to alright, well, yeah, let's... Dear Americans, stop naming yourself after our continents. Sincerely, Canada and the rest of Latin America, basically. This is because they do not like that the United States call themselves Americans when everyone is American on the American continents. A new point that I've been considering, though, is because the US was the first country to go independent on those continents, or continent, whatever you want to say, that definitely plays a role in it. Maybe they eventually thought they'd just take over all the Americas, so they just kind of got ahead of themselves or something. Serbs use this symbol to identify each other. Be aware the next time you see this symbol. Turks use this symbol to identify each other. Be aware the next time you see this symbol. Bosnians use this symbol to identify each other. Be aware the next time you see this symbol. Oh, I didn't know any of that. Had no idea national flags held this sort of power. Stay safe out there, guys. Who would win? An entire army of line infantry with carefully trained professionals in their ranks with endless supplies of ammunition and supplies versus one bird boy. Literally the most horrifying sound, too. Just this noise alone could drop the entire line on the other side. I feel like I nailed that noise too. When I'm talking about how much France sucks and Russia tries to join, no one dogs the French but me. And of course, maybe the boy, which that's Britain and Vietnam. Well, the Vietnamese can pretty much dog all of us. They got dubs over all of us, that's for sure. Like how there's always exceptions. What is Dune about? Well, it's hard to say Dune is about any one thing because Dune is rich with themes. The first book, yeah, Dune is about worms. Wait, you're telling me it's more than just that? I've never seen one of those movies, but I just know about the worms. Isn't that basically their marketing? Like, hey, come watch this movie. There's a giant worm. Finally, we've done it. World peace. Everyone happy now? And it actually wasn't even that hard. Proud to be a Californian Croatian here. Actually, the geographical things that were made here on this map, pretty well made. Oh, poor Romania. Roads in different countries. We have Poland, well, still building theirs. Slovakia with perfect roads. Hungary with, I mean, it's fine. Czechia just one. And then there's Ukraine. It already looked like this. This isn't a post. Yeah, this is from 2021. This part of Europe, although they all border each other, do roads very differently. Died in 1918. Born in 2022. Welcome back, World War I. Been saying this for a minute now. Really did not expect us to be going back to using trench warfare. Well, here we are. Living European monarchs who abdicated because of age. Got this guy from Belgium and Spain and Denmark and the Netherlands. They were all in like their 80s. Meanwhile, King Harald in Norway, I stand by what I've said all along. I've taken an oath to the parliament and it lasts for life. Damn, that's pretty based. You know he probably does not want to be doing this anymore. Doing it his entire life. He's probably sick of it. Or maybe not. Maybe he loves it. Meanwhile, chess in Chile. Wow, this looks really exciting and totally possible to do because, well, maybe the pieces work differently in Chile too. You think Texas is an East Coast state? I do, and I'm tired of pretending that it's not. Dang, I don't know if this meme was made ironically or sometimes I feel like it I mean, it's not, but it does border the Atlantic Ocean, so this is probably brought to us by the Pacific Coast Gang. Big thanks to my patrons this month. Kansas was mentioned. KingBearHaze. JohnDenver. I can't sleep without Drew's voice. DaBeautiful-MEGAN-Underwood. Archaeology. aPhatNarwhal. Carmel S. Connor Pavlik. DOOCHBAGGINS.
Fredrik
LuxembourgLover.
Traven,
Tambre.
friend.
Sebby, if you hear this,
KirinoIsBestGirl.
I love you. The Mexican 760.
ZaneyBoi.